at all. On some of her a television show, I would like to bring a couple of guests, if that's okay, Pastor Ramey. Pastor Ramey, I guess that.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Khanna with our brother Gary. Go ahead, brother Gary.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're here. We appreciate everything that you do for us, Willie, and we appreciate WPAT for being on the radio. It's a great opportunity for us, and we are just excited about the so many things that we are doing that that is just amazing. So let's talk about a couple of things that we are doing and that is going on. Okay, first of all, I want to tell people that we are having our dinner next week, and it was supposed to be this week, but it was changed because of the weather. So for those of you who are listening, we are also live on 6 channels, but one of the channels, the main one we're on, is facebook.com/Khanna, the number 4 kids, facebook.com, Khanna 4 kids. So if you're there, you'll be able to see what I'm showing you on the screen, that we have a holiday fundraising dinner hosted by Dr. Surajit Khanna, and he's unable to make it today because, well, he's in court. These things happen when you're a lawyer. It's hosted by Dr. Surajit Khanna and returningyouth.com. And I'm going to be talking about returning youth, but right now I just want to talk about the dinner. Hey, join us for a virtual fundraising dinner. We have partnered with an organization that sends out 500 high quality meals every week. It's called bartolosfoods.com, and I'll be showing that website to you shortly. But it's a virtual dinner where it's $100 a plate, which is very reasonable, and we will send you a high quality either keto or non-keto meal to your home, and you can eat it with us, and then you can join us jointly virtually. Because of COVID, everybody understands that. Now we will be at John Mark's location physically in New Jersey. It's actually located in Linden, New Jersey, right next to the house that we just secured the lease on. I think there are just some final legal things we're working on. We may be able to get into the house and actually have the press release from there. We're working on that, but it'll be either at Windsor Driving School or at the actual place in Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth is very interesting. It is in the top 25 cities in the country for crime. It is the 4th largest city in New Jersey, but it has the most crime in all of New Jersey. So we are striving to get post-incarcerated young adults who have been out of prison, out of halfway houses, out of jail, out of county institutions. We don't care where. If you're arrested, we want to connect with these young adults. And I'm going to be quite honest, we really want to reach out to the African-American Black community because they are overrepresented in prisons. You could say inordinately represented, unfairly represented. And as a matter of fact, we're trying to deal with different cases where now that we're getting into this space, we're hearing about different cases that come up that just don't make sense. A plus B, and you have a young man or young woman, and that's A, and then B, they did B. You put those two things together, Willie, you know what I'm talking about. You have a young man, he has a small amount of drugs. There's a certain standard, there's a certain example of punishment they should get. But what's happening, what we're finding out is A plus B, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4, 2 plus 2 is equaling 10. or 20. And it seems to be an unfair amount of an injustice, quite frankly. So what we're trying to do is we're going to help this very simply, because the rearrest rate or the recidivism rate, the national recidivism rate of young adults out of prison is 55% in 12 months. So more than half of them are being rearrested. Now, I want to tell everybody out there who thinks that this doesn't affect you, that it does affect you. And let me explain how. Why are they getting rearrested? Because they are doing a crime, right? And if they're doing a crime, it could be against you, your family, your business, your friends. So we are in the process of reducing crime at the same time, because if we can take a young adult out of prison and change that 55%, because we're partnering with John Marks at the Windsor Driving School. Over the past 20 years, he has a 5% recidivism rate. And that's not over 12 months, that's over the 20 years. If we can do that consistently in a community, we will reduce crime. We will positively reflect the African American communities in these areas, and we're going to get these people jobs. Now, Willie, you know as well as I do, we can get someone who is out of work a job. It's going to help them, not going to do crime. So please go to returningyouth.com, returningyouth.com. Donate $100 for a meal. If you don't want to get a meal, that's fine. You don't have to donate anything you want. We have an option. You can donate $1 to keep a young post-incarcerated youth off the streets, out of a life of crime, into a training program, into a job, into a home. Now, we've described this program to the district attorney office, one of the district attorney offices in New York. We explained it to the assistant DA. And the comment that got back to us is, wow, what you're telling me is a gold standard program. Now, I want to explain this to you. This is the person who is familiar with every other program that's available in the county for post-incarcerated youth. So this is a knowledgeable person that knows every single option. And when they found about what we're doing at returningyouth.com, they said Dr. Khanna's initiative is the gold standard. Because I'm going to tell you something that may surprise you. The rearrest rate for halfway houses and the rearrest rate for coming out of prison are almost identical. Because halfway houses operate basically like a prison. So next Wednesday, I know I'm going on about this. So next Wednesday, December 30th, 7:30 p.m., returningyouth.com. Go to returningyouth.com and you can find out some more information about what we're doing there to help young kids. Now, in addition to that, I do want to point out what we're doing on the same day, and that is we are having a press conference. We are having our third press conference. We've already had two. We had one yesterday in Pennsylvania. We had one a couple of weeks ago in Rockland County, because we're expanding the program. But our pilot program is in New Jersey. It is the key one. And we're going to be having this press conference virtually. We're going to be physically at the location doing the press conference. We're going to be, if it's open, and we're going to be announcing everything that's going on. So what we're doing is that we're working with the DVR. Now, if you don't know what the DVR is, that's the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm speaking to you businesses out there right now, okay? This is important. If you own a business in the Linden, New Jersey, in the Elizabeth, New Jersey area, a car dealership, a truck driving school, anything, would you consider hiring one of these post-incarcerated youths? Many people say, no, I don't want the risk. But I want to explain to you that the DVR, the New Jersey Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, will take that risk for you. They will pre-qualify and they will vet these young men and women before they're recommended to you. It takes a tremendous amount of pressure, responsibility, fear away from a business. If you want to reduce crime, you want to help the inner city, I'm gonna be very blunt here, Willie. If you are an African American and you own a business, please contact us at contactk.com, and we want to partner with you to offer alternatives to these young people out of jail, so that when we put them in the house, we're going to supply them food, we're going to supply them a place to live, we're going to supply them psychological evaluation, we're going to supply them counseling, we're going to supply them medical analysis, everything. But we want to also be able to supply them a job. So we're looking for a place that will provide training for a set period of time, and at the end of the training, a very strong pathway to hiring a job. We're going to continue with these young people. We're going to have a relationship with them for 2 years, okay, 24 months. So it's not like, hello, goodbye, you're not my responsibility. No, we want to connect with these young people as soon as they get out. We want to maintain that relationship for 2 years. Please go to returningyouth.com and join us virtually at facebook.com, Khanna for Kids. And by the way, we're right on there right now. You can see my wonderful face. Well, you might not think it's wonderful, but you can at least say I have a wonderful voice, but you may not say that either. But the point is, please go to facebook.com, Khanna for Kids, and join us for the virtual event and also for the dinner. So there's a lot that we're doing, and I want to share with you also what we're doing in terms of what the Voice of the Kids and Returning Youth campaign is. So thank you. Hey, Willie, I've been going on and on. I want to ask you, what's your thoughts so far? I've been
Well, it's just great, and the fact of the matter that it's expanding so rapidly, it's amazing. Because we did the press release yesterday for the Pennsylvania. I didn't know of the other one for the New York property. So do you have a property there?
We've secured a property. We're working out the details. Believe me, there's a lot of details that need to be worked out regardless. But we've identified a place in White Plains.
Wow, that's beautiful. That is great. So there's 3 locations where we can help people in 3 different states. And so what are your thoughts of this going throughout the country?
Oh, it's going to go out throughout the country. No, it's going to happen. We are looking. We need 3 things. It's really simple. Number 1, we need companies, organizations, small businesses willing to take these young adults, put them in some type of training program, and offer them a job.
Can you speak on that? Can you speak on what the companies that will welcome these young people into their companies, what are the government pledging for them to do that?
Well, the government's not pledging anything, but what I want to talk about is what's needed for us to be successful. We will fund the location, but we need a couple of things in advance. So the 2 things we need is, number 1, I'll give you a specific example. We already have John Marks's company, Windsor Driving School, who's been doing this 20 years. They put 255 post-incarcerated youth through their program successfully. So they train them how to drive a tractor trailer, at graduation, they're making $55,000 a year. It's just not
Yes.
flipping burgers. Okay.
Yes.
I talked to a friend of mine today, and she goes, "Heck, I never been arrested. I can't even make $55,000 a year." So it's a real opportunity. So we have that already in place in New Jersey. He's already got the relationship with the New Jersey Department of Vocational Rehabilitation. That's existing. All we got to do in Jersey is get the building, which you've already secured, and we're just getting the lease signed and finalized. We're ready to go there. So we're going to be connecting to the DVR and having them send us young people. We're that close. But any place else in the nation, all we need, all Dr. Khanna needs is simply maybe a truck driving school that's willing to take the same risk. And it's not much of a risk because the state takes most of the risk. Or if you have any other business, it could be an internet business. It could be a car dealership. It could be an office that you have. It could be a tax place. It could be anything. It doesn't make a difference. Our goal is to offer these young kids a myriad of opportunities when they come out of incarceration, that they can say, well, I don't want to drive a truck, but I'd be really interested in being a car mechanic. Or, you know what, I'd like to be a salesman. I always wanted to wear a tie. My mom always wanted me to be that kind of person. I want to wear a suit. That's the kind of job I want to go to. So we want to offer those opportunities. Those opportunities will get blessed by the DVR, the Department of Vocational Research, and they will then recommend these students, these young incarcerated, when they get out of jail. We'll take anybody under 30. We have a preference, the younger the better, but anybody under 30, because people age out. Okay, they age out. We just had a situation. We know someone that was 15, got incarcerated. They've aged out now. Okay, so even if you age out, we don't want to turn our back on you.
When you say age out, what do you mean by that?
You get arrested at 17, you get a 4-year sentence. Now you're 22, right?
Okay.
And you're not a juvenile, and they say, well, we can't help you because you're not a juvenile. You don't fit into the government system. You see the problem?
Yes.
We don't have that problem because we're external at this point. So what we're going to say is, look, anybody under 30. So the three things we're looking for, let's say you're in Kansas, you're in Texas, you're in Chicago, you're in Denver, you're in LA. I don't care where you are. If you're listening, if you know somebody, if you find a company willing to do this and have the state take the risk, we will take the next step and find a place to buy, to rent for these kids to be at. We're talking already in Montana. It's just preliminary talks, but we're pretty excited about moving forward there. And we're talking about Seattle, okay? So, and we're excited about these type of opportunities. So all we need is A, companies willing to do this. B, we'll connect you to the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation to find post-incarcerated youth. C, we'll take care of the rest. We will get a building and do everything else. This is a gold-plated system. So I wanted to show you why this is different. Dr. Khanna's plan, his initiative, his campaign is a little bit different than everything else out there. And again, we're on Facebook.com at Khanna 4 kids. Facebook.com, Khanna 4 kids. So I want you to look at this website, which is called returningyouth.com, because we are returning young adults back to a productive life. So what is the initiative? It's Dr. Khanna's Post-Incarceration Juvenile Justice Reformation Act initiative. Woo, that's a lot of words. Hey, we call it for short, returningyouth.com. That's it. We provide young adults with a pathway to be reintegrated into society, pursue a new and productive life after being released from incarceration. They will learn life skills, be employed, pursue long-term education, remain off the streets, out of a life of crime, and lead a rewarding life. We've already established programs. We're launched in New Jersey. We're in the process of New York and Pennsylvania, and we're going to strategically roll out to other states. We're going to be connecting to district attorney offices, law enforcement, court system, the DVRs, and local businesses. So if you're interested, please contact us at contactk.com, contactk.com, or you can even give us a call. And the phone number to call us is area code 302-746-2311, 302-746-2311. If you are a business and you want to get help the inner cities, help the African American community with something that's real, please reach out to us. If you are know anybody that's coming out of jail and you want to help them, connect with us, and we'll work together to fund a location in your city or in your area. Because the problem is that with this 55% of rearrest rate, that's a national average. And keep in mind that also it doesn't include where you go, whether county jail, local jail, prison, or halfway house. It's a very high arrest rate in 12 months. The Reformation Act of 2018, which was originally written in 1974 and reauthorized in 2018, really looked at three different areas of reformation. Number one, reducing crime, number one, so you don't get as many African Americans in jail. Reducing, and part of that is the second part is protecting people while they're in jail, and that includes reducing racial inequality. Okay, African Americans need to be treated the same as everybody else, not differently, not more harshly. Okay, so we've got to get rid of the racial inequality, and that's the law. That's the law. I'm not telling you my opinion. This is the Juvenile Justice Reformation Act of 2018. And it also post-incarceration. Those are the three areas: before you're arrested, while you're arrested, after you're arrested. But Dr. Khanna, when he looked at this, he saw that what was really happening, there really is no very light, not much post-incarceration protection support for these kids coming out of incarceration. Now, we had 2 interviews yesterday with 2 young people out of prison, out of jail, okay? And we're not prompting them, we're asking them to give the story. So this one young woman, she explained to us that they are trained when they're incarcerated to do nothing. Do not be productive, do not cause trouble, sit down, eat your meal, go to sleep, don't cause trouble, sit down, keep your mouth shut. So they are, if they're not troublemakers, which is a good thing, what are they being trained to do? They're being trained to do nothing. And what happens is after you do nothing for a long time and you get out of imprisonment, what are you trained to do, Willie? Nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what she said to us. It was really amazing. She says, you know, Dr. Khanna, I was in jail. I did my time. I made a mistake. You know, I'm not that person anymore. I was a lot younger. I got out. I listened to everything they told me to do in jail, and I did what they told me to do, and they told me to do nothing. When I got out of jail, I was doing nothing. I didn't know what else to do. That's what I was trained to do. So we're going to affect that. And what we have found through the program that's already existing in New Jersey, Willie, is that when these young people come to a program like this, they are pre-decisioned in their mind to game the system. They want to game it. They want to figure out a way to get around it. How can they do this? And you know what? It takes time. I know we're running out of time here. It takes time.
You got to you know what? I want to talk to you more about that, that doing nothing in prisons. But right now, just give them the how they can get in touch with you. If they want to donate, we just got about a minute and a half.
That's fine. That's fine. I just want to close my other point that we have experience with the operation in New Jersey, how to train people not to do nothing, but to do something productive. That's the difference. And then they begin to see the value in themselves. So please go to returningyouth.com. Returningyouth.com. We are returning young adults back to a productive life. Hey, give $1. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Yes.
Yeah, give $100 for a meal. We're having a meal next week. Support our campaign. We're reducing crime at the same time as we're helping these formerly incarcerated criminals. I don't like to call them that, but formal criminals change their lives, and it's working. Yes. So please go to returningyouth.com. Support Dr. Khanna's initiative. I'm sorry he couldn't be here today, but we're doing some real things. We're working on real cases. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you. Thank you. We owe you a big thank you for what you're doing in our community, and we really thank God for Dr. Khanna. The things that God had to touch his heart to even want to be involved in getting in to do this. So we really thank God for it because it's needed. It's definitely needed. Listen, we want to keep you, thank you for tuning in. Keep it locked right here. We'll be back. The station is going to do a station identification, and we've got some other programming coming up right up after the hour. So keep it locked again. Brother Gary, thank you so much. Pastor Amy, thank you for hanging in there with us. We'll be right back after these messages.